It's so spooky. We have a lot of strange lighting happening right now. It might start a fire though, since I just put like a shirt over my lamp and that's my TV. Go ahead, judge me if you want, but I'm having so much fun. Like, you can't even tell it's like dirty. It's just like a void of darkness. Can you tell that it's not daytime anymore and that I ran out of time trying to figure out how to use these different devices and that I just improvised with the lighting? Because I did. Because I'm a professional, obviously. My nose is itchy. Hello, my name is Kylie and I'm really selfish. I also like to talk about movies a little bit too much. Just a little too much. Just a little too. So with both of those in mind, I'm just gonna go through a list of movies that I like and tell you why I like them. I get really passionate when I talk about the things that I like, and movies are definitely one of them. Also, whenever I talk about things like this, it's almost as I'm invisible, since nobody cares at all. No one ever pays attention when I talk about a movie. When I recommend a movie, no one watches it. And that's fine. So I'm gonna use this to force you individuals to listen to me. Cry for help a little. So all I have in my script is a list about 50 movies. So I'm gonna go down and tell you why I like each of them. I will keep it short, maybe spoilers ahead. I got a candle. I have candles. Ouch, it's a candle. Fire, ouch. I hate myself. These are in alphabetical order as well, so I have no bias. I swear. If it looks like I do, I don't have a bias. I love all of these movies. Some of them maybe a little more than others, and you can probably tell which ones, but here we go. 2001: A Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick. I think this movie is very cool. I like the whole point of evolution. I like that room that he's in the end. It's a beautiful room. I love that color. The music's great. All those colors when he's traveling. I would love to make something like that. Super psychedelic and strange and scary, and knowing that you're going to an unknown place that probably nobody has ever been to. A Star is Born, 2019, Bradley Cooper. This movie is just one of those movies that makes you cry, and makes you cry a lot, and makes you cry hard for days after you've seen it. I love Gaga when she's in drag. Oh my god, she should be in more drag. I don't like the way that they look at each other. Just that makes me burst into tears. I remember once I was in a Barnes & Nobles. They started playing I'll Never Love Again. I started crying. If you've seen the movie, you know the way that it changes in the end, and it's Bradley singing it instead of Gaga. They played that version at the Barnes & Nobles, and I started crying so hard. That whole movie killed me like it killed somebody else. That's so bad. I can't. That's offensive. Did I make my first offensive joke? Anastasia. This is an animated princess movie not by Disney. It's amazing. It's about Anastasia, the lost princess of Russia, when they did the whole Russian Revolution and they killed her parents. It's about her and going back to her grandmother and finding out who she really is. Very good. The music is so good. I've loved this movie since I was a child. I love the fashion, and it has made me really appreciate Russian history. It's very interesting, and you learn a lot, kind of. Beetlejuice. I'm gonna say it again. Beetlejuice. Everybody knows what Beetlejuice is. I don't have to talk about the plot. Everybody in that movie is so good, except for the dad, who turns out is a pedophile. Who knew? Very good, obviously. Effects, costumes, acting, so good. Music, so good. Very 80s, spooky, classic Halloween movie. I love it. She's perfect. Blindspotting. I don't know what to say about this movie. This movie is perfect. It came out last year. I'm not sure who directed it. There's a lot of people in there who I also really admire. This movie, oh my god. It's there's some, I wouldn't say music in it, but there's some spoken word stuff happening that is, Pulitzer Prize deserving. It's about racism. It's about just views and stereotypes. It's so well done. I don't really want to say more about it because I really want people to watch this movie out of any movie on this list, probably. This movie is genuinely so good. I liked it. My parents didn't, but whatever. That's fine. You're not my parents. It's about perception and living in a society that's very difficult to live in, and just, I mean, conflict and fear. There's a lot of aspects that go into it, and I could really talk for days about it. It's really good, and I'm not crying, but I would over this movie since I really, really like it. Carrie. This movie's just like kind of cathartic. I know that's very strange and morbid to say, but I really mean it. I read the book, Stephen King, wonderful. It's a classic horror movie, but it turns so quickly during prom. It's not a scary movie, but it's scary to think about. Don't be a bully to anybody, because you never know if they have telekinetic powers. Coraline. It's a stop motion movie. It's a stop motion masterpiece. It's scary. It's creepy. I don't like the bugs in it. Don't really like bugs in general. I love that cat. I love the songs. I love the colors. The animation's beautiful. This movie's like genuinely kind of spooky. Like, I would be a little scared to watch it in the dark. Just a little bit. It's very good. Also, the music that they have, like for the credits and the opening, it's very unsettling. Creep. Oh my goodness. I heard about this movie from Steven Suptic of Sugar Pine 7. He was talking about it on a podcast, and I watched it, and it's very creepy. It's about like an original like spooky man trying to lure victims on Craigslist. This movie gets creepier and creepier by the minute. I think it's very well done, cool story. Cream Puff, I think, is a name that is in this movie. Cream Puff is spooky. This is one of those movies that I've seen once, but once is enough for me. I don't want to hear about it again because it's unsettling, but good. I think the final shot itself is a really interesting and really cool shot. It's very well done, and I would like frame it if I could. No, I wouldn't. That's weird. I wouldn't have that in my house. Doubt. It's about a Catholic priest in the 60s, so not very good. It's based on a play, so there's a lot of dialogue, but it's Meryl Streep, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Amy Adams, and Viola Davis. It's very thought-provoking. It's very sad. This movie makes your skin crawl. It makes you uncomfortable, but it really allows you to have a conversation that a lot of us need to have about, do I want to talk about this? Yeah, about institutions that are creepy and whether or not we will allow those to still exist in our society, or whether we will change them for the better, and whether or not that change is actually possible. I know, pretty deep, but it's a very good movie. Ex Machina, oh my god, by Alex Garland, Oscar Isaac, Donald Gleason, Alicia Vikander. This is the movie that I recommend to everybody also, and nobody watches it. I don't know why. This is such a good movie. It's about a robot, and she's a robot, and bad things happen because she's a robot. Wonderful performances, really cool effects, wonderful story. It makes you scared for the future, and I love it. Iron Man, guess which number? 3. Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is my favorite Marvel movie. Look, I get it. Not everybody likes Iron Man 3. I do. Oh my god. I think the most romantic scene in any Marvel movie is when his house is about to explode and he throws Pepper into the soup to save her. Like, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. As soon as I saw that, favorite movie. And it has still been my favorite movie. Isle of Dogs, Wes Anderson. I love dogs. Movie about dogs, in. Movie about stop motion dogs, I'm even in. Wes Anderson movie about stop motion dogs, you got me. I'm done. Those dogs, lovely. That music, perfect. The story's really cute. All the people, I think it's just done really well. It's so beautiful to look at. It's so detailed. And I feel like every time somebody watches it, there's something new that they can look at. It's amazing how much detail and how much love and passion Wes Anderson and also all of the people who have created all these puppets have put into this movie, and you can really tell. and it's really lovely to see. La La Land. Again, I try not to put a lot of musicals into this list because I really like musicals, and I feel like if I had musicals, it'd be a little biased because I like a lot of them, and I feel like I wanted to do more normal movies. But this one, oh man, Damien Chazelle, I gotta go. I think this movie was so beautiful. Obviously, in the lights, it just made me love color and lights a lot more. I was so mad at La La Land when I first saw it because I was like, how dare you do that to me? How dare you lie to me? But it was worth it, and I really do love it now. But I don't think Emma Stone should have deserved her Oscar. But that's a whole nother conversation that can last hours. Ladybird, Greta Gerwig, Oscar nominated, Saoirse Ronan, Laurie Metcalf. This movie really spoke to me as a girl from also a small town in California. This movie personally attacked me kind of, because it was about a girl who's a little different, who wants to separate herself from everybody else, who just wants to live, and who wants to be artistic and be an artist and try and separate herself. I feel like that's also a little bit of me. I really relate to all of the struggles that she's felt, and I'm really happy that I can find more movies by female directors that I can really relate to. Midsommar. This movie I did not like, only because it made me feel uncomfortable. But I love feeling uncomfortable. It's my favorite thing to feel. It's yucky, it's gross, but I was so happy because when I saw it, I only understood everything that happened in the last shot. Last shot, I see everything happening and it's oh, this makes sense now. And it was really cool to feel and see, and I really liked it. I saw it alone. Even better. What a good experience. Mother. Nobody liked Mother. Mother starring, what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence? Jennifer Lawrence, Javier Bardem, and a bunch of other people. Donald Gleason's also in that. I love Donald Gleason. That movie is so crazy, and I feel like that's why a lot of people didn't like it. Yes, it was a metaphor for something religious, and I understand why religious people probably wouldn't like that, because it's a little disrespectful, a little blasphemous in a way. It had a point, and it shoved that point in your face. I feel like with it being so slow and a little light, a little suspenseful, and then it just turning that fast in that way, it really punches you in the face. It really knocks the wind out of you, and I really like that. Phantom Thread, I feel like it also got absolutely, nobody talked about Phantom Thread. I really liked Phantom Thread. I feel like it was pretty long, but in the end, it was so worth it, at least for me. I've also seen it once, so maybe it really is super long and drags a whole bunch, but I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was interesting. I thought the performances were really great. I thought all the clothes were beautiful. I thought it was a little scary, very masochistic, sadistic, but lovely in the end. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Rocket Man. I will say right now, right here, Rocket Man was better than Bohemian Rhapsody. It was everything that I wanted Bohemian Rhapsody to be. A lovely story, a bit more rated R, a bit more depressing and sad, a lot more music, better costumes, more outrageous, more just how, showing how these people lived, but how they saw themselves. Bo Rap compared to Rocket Man is genuinely such a letdown, and I really mean that, and I'm sorry. Star Wars. I love Star Wars, and that's all I have to say, because I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars a little bit too much, and it is my life. It is my first love. It will always be here for me if they don't ruin it. But I love Star Wars, and I don't need to elaborate. The Exorcist, classic. It's a little spooky. It's not that spooky. Very well done for the 70s. Really enjoyable still. The Exorcist is honestly so inspirational for, I feel like, many filmmakers to make something that iconic, to make something that good. It holds up so well, and I feel like everybody aspires to make a movie that holds up that well. The Game, Michael Douglas. This movie got me so upset. It makes you think one thing, and then it makes you think another thing, and then it makes you think another thing, and then it's a whole different another thing that you could have never guessed. The Lost Boys, classic 80s vampires. Do you like eating worms? These vampires are so inspirational. They're like modern rock and roll vampires. And I just aspire to be like them all the time. They're just like having fun out there with their motorcycles and looking all spooky, but looking all like evil, but cool. The whole tone of that movie is so fun. I love the dog. Dog's my favorite. The Shape of Water. Oh my goodness. Do you want to cry some more? So do I. The music. Oh my god. Guillermo del Toro deserved all of those Oscars. We love a Mexican director, and we love weird amphibian human relationships, but like also not kind of spoilers, whatever. It was gory. I felt like there should have been a little more stuff with the Russians in the Cold War, but other than that, it's really good. The Wailing. This is a Korean movie. There's a little girl in it, and oh my goodness, if I had her talent, I don't know what I would do. The ending is crazy, good twist-ish, kind of. These special effects and the makeup are, amazing. It's scary. Like, I don't want to look at it anymore. It's gross. It's gruesome. You can, like, taste the desperation everywhere and the fear, and it's so good. I feel like people don't give foreign films a chance, and I feel like this is a movie that people should take a chance with. This is a great horror movie that people who like horror will enjoy. It's good. It's spooky. I like it. It's Korean. You have to read a little. So worth it. Unsane was great. Claire Foy. Oh my goodness. I love the aspect ratio. I love things with like a different aspect ratio, and I don't know why. It looks like, what I mean is that it looks more square than like rectangle. It's about stalkers and a psychiatric ward. It's done very well. I like everything about it. I love the way it looks. I love the spookiness, but also not that spookiness of it. You're really rooting for people, and you really want things to happen. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. I can't tell you that. I think it was underrated, and more people needed to see it. And last but not least, What We Do in the Shadows. What We Do in the Shadows, Taika Waititi, Jamie Clements. It's a vampire mockumentary. These concepts are so good and so fleshed out properly and well done, and it's so funny. Like, they take into consideration every single vampire aspect you can think of, and they make it so funny. The quotes are so good. Everything about this movie is so funny. It's so good. They look amazing. Their jokes are really good. I think it holds up, and I think it's gonna hold up. I love New Zealand. I love everything that has come out of New Zealand. New Zealand, you're beautiful. I love you. It's a classic, and everybody who likes funny things and vampires should watch it. It's genuinely that good. Alright, and that's the end of my list. I'm done. I'm a little sleepy. I'm gonna say goodnight because it's clearly night. I hope you sleep well. I hope you don't judge me on my cinematic choices. And please tell me if you like these movies as much as I do, because then I won't feel that alone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much more for listening. Good night, goodbye, and sweet dreams.